Hello ladies and gentlemen, and Idiot Imports is sponsored by PlayAsia, who most likely supplied this game to me unless I specifically mentioned that they didn't. You can follow the affiliate link in the description to buy this game from PlayAsia to support me and my channel, and you can use the coupon code BLUEVITA to save $3 off your order. Thanks for your support, enjoy the show. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and I'm here finally checking out SD Gundam G Generation Genesis. Gundam G Generation Genesis. That's an amazing alliteration right there. Seriously. But yes, this one is a... oh boy. This one is one I've been looking forward to for a while, because I've never played this series before, and having one in English has been like, oh yes, I'll check that out. And now I want to go check out the other games in the series. If that doesn't tell you what you need to know offhand, I don't know what will. So, the way this game works is a bit weird. It's the very first 2-cartridge game for Vita. And the way it works is that you put the first card in and it puts a live bubble on the area. Like these. These are the live area bubbles. It just puts them there, right? That's all well and good. Then when you put in the second card, this screen pops up. You have to put in the second card immediately after you put in the first card and let the live area bubble install. And then it installs the data to the memory card. So you need a minimum of 3200 meg. The package says 3500, which is, you know, fair enough, but, you know, give people a little bit of extra wiggle room to work with. But yeah, that's certainly something. I've never thought I'd see a Vita game do that. So let's not waste time, because there's a lot of stuff in this game that needs to be gone over. So I'll just load into my game immediately. Now, my save timer here is going to say 11 hours, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. You might think, holy shit, you never put that much time into a game. I don't. No matter whether or not you've got the Vita on standby, no matter whether or not you've got the game in the background while you're in the browser or something, if you have this game running in any way, shape, or form, that save timer will clock up. It's closer to 4 hours, actually. No, it's more like 5 or 6. I can't really be sure, because I have left this game on sleep for a bit, but at the same time, I haven't. I've actually been playing a fair bit of it, because this is seriously a long-ass game. So we'll just load into my game here. There is also cross-save with the PS4 version if you want to do that, but frankly, I can't see playing a strategy game like this on the PS4. It would just drive me mad. So here we are. That's my husbando on the right there. Good old Char Aznable, also known as, Casval, that's his name. And we've got a fair few things to go through here, but it's actually pretty simple and straightforward. The game does not save on its own, so you do have to come here and save, but you can save at any time. Like, seriously, if it's your turn in the thing, you can save. Doesn't matter what the circumstances are, and you can load at any time as well, so save scumming is a thing if you need it to be. Here's the configuration. There's a fair few things here that you can turn on and off, and it's fine. Like, seriously, all these different options work about as you would expect. I have put the move animation up to cut, because seriously, it takes ages to get through this game if you don't have it on anything other than cut. But yeah, you can see all the different things you've got to play around with here. You can even change the camera position, which is nice. And simplified stats and pre-battle information, and yeah, it's got a fair amount of stuff to work with. You can come over to the controls to change what some things do. So yeah, find ally units, find all units, and move the map for those. And you can even set triangle and L to do a bunch of other things too, which is kind of neat, but not entirely necessary. If we go to the gallery, you've got all the tutorials that the game will teach you, but you don't really need to worry about reading it all here. It'll come up when it's relevant. You've got all your stats here, and as I said, the time is inaccurate, but the rest of it seems fine. Series profiles, which lets you read about all the histories of the different series. Seriously, like, seriously, come on. So, there's an absolute ton of series in this game, however, all of them are Universal Century. Every single one. There's no Wing. There's no God Gundam, which is disappointing to me. There's no Endless Waltz. There's no... I'm trying to remember. There's no C. There's no nothing like that. So it's all Universal Century, just FYI. You do also have character profiles. Seriously, there's so many different character profiles. Yep, it's all there. And you can also see their individual stats. We'll get onto what these are shortly. And of course, unit profiles. 440 unique mobile suits. 440. Seriously, like, look at that. 72 of them are unique to Unicorn. 72. And of course, you've also got unique units from Gundam G Generation Genesis as well, which is nice. And you can even see development advice, which is kind of neat. We'll get onto how that works as well shortly, too. I'm wasting a lot of time in just the fucking gallery, I gotta say. I'm sorry about that, but I like checking out these games very thoroughly. I mean, there's really not that much else to see before we get into the actual good stuff. So, quests are a lot like Shin Gundam Musu. I put that video up recently. So, you get these quests, and you don't actually get them. You can do all 215 of them right off the bat if you're, actually capable of it. And the quests are, like, side objectives, more or less. And if you do them, you will unlock specific things. Like, for example, if you finish this, if you do Tragedy in Jabura, which is Stage 4 of Mobile Suit Gundam's campaign, you'll get Akahana. If you defeat Dozel, who's riding the Big Zam with Amuro's Gundam, you get Dozel Zabi as a pilot. And you can also do this with individual units. Well, there's no actual quest rewards for units, but you can capture units and stuff as well. We'll get onto how that works shortly. And you can also get modifications for doing different things as well. Like in Stage 1, Fire Genie Desert Sprite, have Henry destroy 2 or more enemy units. And there's a ton of these. As you can see up in the top left, over 200. So you've got plenty to do. Plenty. Ooh, 4. Hey, you can get the Psycho Gundam. The localization in this game isn't fantastic, I gotta say. Well, I mean, it does get most of the stuff right, as far as I can tell. But at the same time, it also has some really weird mistakes. Like when they're flying over the Grand Canyon in Mobile Suit Gundam, it's the Great Canyon in the translation, and that's just not right. Like, that's literally not right. But for the most part, most of this seems okay. Yeah, I knew Gundam. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, you can also sort by the order that the series take place in too, which is nice. You can use the shoulder buttons to actually like skip stuff as well. And of course, you can filter it so that the ones that are both incomplete and ones you actually like know the objectives for, you can do that. So yeah, you got a lot of stuff to do, and trust me, some of those are harder than they look. So now let's get into how the game actually works. Now, in the main story, you will have access to all of the characters that were there in the first place. So, in the second mission, you will have access to, of the Mobile Suit Gundam campaign, you have access to the White Base, the Gundam, the gun tank, and a gun cannon. And you have access to all of them and all the individual characters. However, you also end up going up against some really insurmountable odds due to the plot. So, they've given you this whole system where you can take along another warship. In fact, you can take up to 4 extra warships on any particular mission, where you can actually fit the 4 individual warships into the thing. And you can take them along, and when you take them along, you will be able to deploy them into the field and use them as backup. So you have, well, hell, to be fair, I'm kind of absolutely kicking ass at this game right now. I'm not really doing very much in the development area, and I'll get onto why shortly. But yeah, you can take along a warship with a bunch of extra people in it. So, to explain how this all works, we have to do this one by one. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go down to manage units. So we can actually produce units. So every unit you run into and get the ability to develop for, you can produce right here. So I can produce like the Gundam if I want, or I can produce the full armor Gundam or the Phoenix Gundam. The Phoenix Gundam is actually ridiculous. Little piece of advice, they give you a few Tornado Gundams to start off with at the beginning of the game. Do not let them die. Try and upgrade them to the Phoenix Gundam as soon as possible. You'll know how to do that shortly. But as you can see on the right there, they have particular, what's the word I'm looking for? They're particularly good at specific areas like space or on land. You can press triangle to check out all their individual things as well. Like, you can do their activate. You can see their abilities, what modifications they have, and we'll be able to see some modifications shortly, and all their weapons. And weapons, of course, have different accuracies and crit rates, and they also have different effects. Like, if you hit with the Gatling gun more than once, you'll do more damage. And enemies that are XL or larger, like warships or the Big Zam, will take a massive amount of damage from a diffuse beam cannon, which is nice. And of course, there's 440-something mobile suits in this game, so they're all different, and you basically have a huge amount of choice in how you plan on doing this. You can also do the same with warships. So, I've got the white base, but it's 200,000 fucking capital. 200,000 is a ridiculous amount in this game. I haven't even made 200,000 yet, and I'm almost through the Mobile Suit Gundam campaign, so it can take a pretty long time to get the money you need to actually do what you want. I do actually have a plan on what to do, but unfortunately I don't think I'm going to have enough money to do it. I might be able to afford getting a Salamis, which will be my second ship, but then I'll need to actually bring along some people to actually, you know, crew it and have some suits that I can deploy out of it, you know. But it'll be nice to have a backup ship nonetheless. The SFS, I don't remember what the abbreviation stands for, but it's basically just platforms that your Gundams stand on and helps them move faster. That's basically it. And modifications, you can add these to pretty much anything, warship or mobile suit alike. And you can just see the effects that are on the side there, but as you can see, 10,000 a piece means that it takes a really long time to earn the money you need. Like, seriously, automatically regain 15% HP a turn? That'd be great if it wasn't 60,000 for just one of them. Good lord. You can also develop mobile suits. So, when you level up suits in-game, you can turn them into other suits. And this is what I did a couple of missions ago. So, I've just got a regular Gundam here, but I also have the Full Armor Gundam. And the Full Armor Gundam was developed by getting a Gundam to level 4 and then developing it into the Full Armor Gundam. So that's how that works. It also costs money, which is kind of annoying. Like, if I hit circle here, you can see that it'll cost... Oh, it doesn't actually cost anything. Oh, okay. I thought it cost something. Oh no, that's the other thing. But yeah, you can do that with pretty much any unit in the game that's above level 1. Like, for example, if I go to the Zaku 1, if I get it to level 3, I can develop it to a Zaku 2. Or if I get it even higher, I can develop it into... That looks like a goof, and there might be... no, I don't know what that is, actually. But yeah, you can develop it into another unit, which is nice, because it gives you options into how you want to plan to move along. Do you, like, I really like the Gundam's moveset, but the Full Armor Gundam is a great long-range unit, so it's a good idea to keep one of them around, especially for, long-range stuff. You can also design units by selecting 2, and then you'll get 1 out of it, but the thing is, I'm not entirely sure how you do that yet, considering I can't actually select any of my units here, which is kind of annoying. And you can also exchange units for money, so you can get rid of the unit and then get another unit for the money. But the units you can do this for aren't particularly great, like a freaking Efreet versus the Gundam that I have right now, and you have to add 16,000 onto that. Is kind of insane. I don't really see the point. Might be easier to do later on, but who knows. So, you can get the famous pilots. Like, as you saw, I have Char as my leader of my backup warship. But you can get pretty much anyone from the series that you like, and they've all got their own individual stats. And most of these stats should be pretty obvious. So, like, Bright would actually be alright as a ranged mobile suit pilot, but he doesn't have any awakening ability, so he wouldn't be able to fly any Psychomu weapons. Char is actually really good. So is Amuro. Yep, that is a impressively good thing to do. I was about to say, is Bright even... Yeah, Bright isn't very good at commanding, which kind of surprises me, but there you go. And of course, you can get some absolutely ridiculous units going here for 200,000 cost a piece. I'm not entirely sure what the point of that is. You can also create a custom character, but there's no real point to that. So, I've made one here just for the purpose of demonstration. So, you can't even decide what they look like, really. The only thing you can decide is a couple of irrelevant things, their birthday and their blood type. And their birthday and their blood type determine what abilities they have. So, yeah, this guy's ability number 1 is command plus 10. And he's also got some special skills. Skills are something that your leader and your warship, your personal warship, can use once per game. And that it will do any of the particular things. Like, there's one on the right there. I'll demonstrate some more once we actually get into a good fight. But as you can see, you've got a bunch of individual officers, and you level them up individually, and they all unlock some special stuff as they go along. So if I go to train this guy, he's got 840 ace points, and you get ace points by fighting in missions, obviously. And the better they do in a mission, the more they, the better they do in a mission, the more... Oh, my head hurts. The better they do in the mission, the more ace points they get. It's like your top 3 get 200, 150, and then everybody else gets 20. That's basically how that works. And you can spend your ace points on particular things here, but if you've got a lot of ace points, it's probably better to go for something like Space Combat Adept or Expertise. And of course, you get tons of abilities as you go along. So yeah, when mastered, recover 10 HP every turn. That is a seriously good skill. Like, this guy is pretty much undefeatable. Also, his name is Goat Logan. I have no idea why his name is Goat. So the way this game works is that whenever your unit die... Actually, I'll show off Char, because Char is my husband, though. But the way this game works is that when one of your guys gets blown up, you lose the mobile suit, but you keep the pilot. So that's how that works. I can actually make Char a new type, and he gets a bunch of bonuses from that, so that's nice. But yeah, he's a really good mobile suit pilot, so I keep him around just for the purpose of demonstration. Yes, you can get Harrow. I'm not entirely sure why you can get Harrow as a pilot. And yes, he does have a sort of group heal ability. Not entirely sure what the point of that is. Also, here's QC. I don't know who this is. I imagine it's someone from, Mobile Suit Gundam, from the rest of this series here. Also, this isn't everybody you have. This is everybody you have. You start out with an absolute ton of extra people. Which, to be fair, would actually help a bit when you get your second warship, because then you can just put everybody in if you can. So, yeah. You can also organize your captures here. Now, I have 2 Zaku 2 high mobility types here, and the high mobility types are actually pretty good Zakus. When you capture these guys, you can bring them in, or you can bring these guys in. I don't know why you'd be able to develop a Zaku 2 high mobility type into a Zaku 2, because it's just overall worse. Also, apparently this is a quest. So, yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring these guys in, because having some... Well, here's the thing. I'm not entirely sure if I can, because I want to get another freaking battleship to bring in along with me, because you have 2 in the majority of the things, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to bring along this one unless I go and sell these units, which is unfortunate. Because the way this works is that either you keep them or you can sell them. So if I hit dismantle all, I can get 13,000. So that would mean that if I just sell this guy, 6,500. That's enough for the warship. I'm going to get it. Yes! Alright, I really should check this whole plan before I went in, so I didn't mean to back out of the organization menu. Loading times aren't actually that bad most of the time. Okay. Manage my units. Produce me a warship. I want the Do I want the Salamis or the Musai? They look about the same. What about their weapons? Okay, he's got 2 weapons, and he's got 3, and one of them is an anti-air attack. I definitely want the Salamis. Alright, so now I've got the Salamis. So let's go and actually make a secondary warship, shall we? I really need to put a warning at the beginning of this video. I've skipped to like 25 minutes to see an actual battle. No, I've got to go back again, and now I've got to form my groups. So let's deploy the Salamis. And let's get a team in here. So, have a Zaku 2 high mobility type. I really should have picked the Murasai. Would have fit better. The Zaku tank. And my Zaku 1s. This is... Oh, wait, no. I need to deploy my Zaku 2 here, because you need a master. You'll always need a master. So my Zaku 2 high mobility type has to go there. And my Zaku 1 has to go there. And now I have to deploy some characters here. So, who's my best commander that I've got available right now? Everybody else is grayed out, so that's a good start. Okay, I'll take Xenon as a commander. Okay, so comms. No. I'll fill in everybody else first. Okay, so comms. I need someone who's good on comms. I saw 100 back there, but the problem was they were much better in 160 comms. Done. Okay, navigation. These all affect how good your ship is. 120. I'll take it. And these guys also have all sorts of skills of their own, so very useful to at least keep around some high stats people. Mark Gilder, yeah, you can go, and we'll get a guest in there as well, just for the purpose of having a guest. And let's get a master in here, someone who's good with melee. Melee, wow, okay. Yeah, you'll be better as a leader, because you've got some high stats. As the master, I should say. They don't really explain very much about how this works, which is kind of annoying. The Zaku tank is mainly range, so I want someone who's good on range and also on defense, so yeah, he'll do. And I don't need anyone who can awaken, which is nice. So, and Shiz Midville, I almost read that as Shit Mistville. But yeah, you can come along too. So, now I've got a second warship. This will be interesting. I have no idea if my bloody Zaku ones will be able to actually survive this. The way this game works is that if you want to level up people, you need to get a, you need to let them have the last hit. So, this will be fun. I didn't check that plan out at all, so I have no idea what I'm going in with. My main guys should be enough to do this one stage I'm about to show you, which is Space Fortress of Boaku, aka the end of Mobile Suit Gundam. But, yeah. We should be fine. But just so you know how this works, you can go through any stage you want. You can replay any stage you want, and they've all got 3 individual difficulties. And you can select any era you want. But I haven't wanted to try any of these because going into, say, Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn with basically nothing sounds like a horrible idea. So I've mainly just been focusing on Mobile Suit Gundam 0079. So, that's a thing. But yeah, as I said, you can play pretty much any stage you want. And you can even play these little scenes here straight from this instead of actually going into the thing. And, well, there's no real point to this because it's just a text intro, and this is in everything. But there are some that actually have special event scenes. Yeah, stuff like that, basically. And it does look really nice, actually. It reminds me a lot of Shin Gundam Musu. But anyway, back to the stage selection. Let's go play Space Fortress of Boaku. As you can see over on the right there, you can change the stage difficulty and it will give you more... It will give you more credit. I just heard something snap and I'm not entirely sure what it was. But yeah, you can get more credit by playing on a higher difficulty. We won't be doing that. Also, I've noted is that it'll actually index what units you can get from what particular stage. So you can get, like, all these different kinds of units. Which is nice. Because it'll help you just... If you've played through a stage, you can go back and you can get all the stuff that's there. So let's get on into it, shall we? So that's not going to be it, because they need to go through the intro first, and you can't skip it. Yeah. This is probably some major spoilers for Mobile Suit Gundam, but I don't really care, but yeah. Yeah, it's got the voice acting from the original series, and all the ones that have series and the other ones probably have voice acting too. It's a little bit inconsistent though. There are scenes that have voice acting and there are some that don't. It's just strange. I'm not entirely sure what the point is. And you can put this on auto, by the way, but yeah, as you can see, I'm not really bothering. Really well presented too. Like the images in the background are nice. The pre-rendered cutscenes are nice. I really don't know why they don't let you play this this like little fight between Char and Amuro. Had a stroke there, sorry. But yeah, now we get on to I do not know what I was going to say there. Now I get on to actually taking on the Space Fortress of Baoku. This will be fun. It's actually loading in the stage now, thank God. Just press circle to skip that. As I said, there's just inconsistent voice acting. There's nothing here. Annoyingly, you can't skip this until you've beaten the mission that's in once. So you end up just... If you've already seen, like, Mobile Suit Gundam, for example, and you already know what's going on, then you just want to skip this. But, yeah. God, look at all this text. Probably should have played an earlier stage so you could see your demonstration, but at the same time, I don't want to go doing a stage that I can just absolutely ruffle stomp because, well, people don't like when I do that. At least I don't think they do. That's a lot of power. It doesn't really present the story. Well, I mean, it does present the story in a way that fans would understand it, but I can't imagine someone who doesn't actually understand as just Mobile Suit Gundam in general really getting a hang of the story based purely off this. Not the best thing in the world, but because I mean, I think Amuro brings up that he's done nothing but fighting since the story started, despite the fact that he only had like one fight in the actual game at that point, and you wouldn't know what the other fights are until, well, obviously, you've watched the series. Alright, looks like we're actually getting into the stage now, so everybody gets deployed in. This is all the regular units that you get. So I get Amuro, 2 gun cannons, a core booster, and now we get to deploy our units. They're on predetermined points, so I get 1 and 2. Now, where... Oh, don't tell me I have to fight these guys off all by myself. Are you serious? Oh boy, okay. This will be fun. Alright, so let's bring in our 2 warships. Wait, what's that? Unit incompatible with terrain. It's probably the Zaku tank, which is unfortunate. The problem being that we can't lose either one of these warships, otherwise the mission ends, which is not great. Seriously, why don't I get to say hi to Amuro in this? I'm not entirely sure. Alright, we're gonna have to start the stage then. Can you destroy the Dolos on the lower in the same turn? Now, the way this works is that the event conditions are what you do to get onto the next part of the level. The challenge conditions are do this and we'll make it harder for you, but we'll bring up some units for you to capture. So that's interesting. Oh, God. So this is how it works then, alright? So the way it works is that we've got 2 individual maps. And these 2 individual maps, we can actually swap between, if I'm correct. Nope, we can't swap between them. So we got 2 completely different fights going on here. Wow, I even get access to 2 Salamises here. So, okay, it's going to be 2 separate fights. This will be an interesting challenge. So, let's do this. First thing I'll do is I'll get my battleship close to the action. We can move them, and we can also send out attacks if we want, but there's no real point just yet. I'd rather wait for them to get a bit closer. Now let's sortie our team out onto the field so that they're there when the enemy decides to come for them. The AI in this game is actually pretty good, but the thing is they tend to be pretty overwhelmed at points, so, you know, it can be fairly easy to just gang up on them and just beat the snot out of them one by one. Especially when you're capable of bringing all your units back into your ship, but the rest of you aren't. And we will move the Marasai as close as possible. The Salamis, sorry, not the Marasai. The Salamis as close as possible so that we can do a sort of combined defense against everything going on here. And we can also sortie out... I was about to say, can I put the tank out here? No, I can't put the tank out here, right? But I know that we can put out the Zaku 2 and Zaku 1s. So let's do that. We'll get them as close as possible. I do want to try and get some last hits in with them, but they're not going to be very useful fighting against Rick Doms, I'll tell you that much. And we'll swap back to the other map, and we're going to have to do roughly the same thing here. So let's move the Salamis in as close as possible. Should probably keep the wide base off to the side for as long as I can, and, well, I'll just move these guys up to make a more solid wall. The controls in this game are pretty simple. So you've got the L and R buttons, which will let you swap between maps, or as you saw earlier, swap between individual units. You can use the square button, just fly around. X to view terrain information about what's going on. Triangle gives you a little mini-map like this, so you can get a more general idea of what's going on, which is nice enough. Circle and X, obviously, are your main buttons for doing stuff like that. And your right analog controls the camera, left analog controls the movement along with the D-pad, and it's really quite simple. There's not that much else to it, actually. So, that's everything moved, so let's let them take their turn. Just in the system menu here, conditions, the event conditions, the chat log, your quests, everything you've captured, everything about what's going on here. You can show all the info of your guys here. I might actually keep that on, that's useful. You can also see what their steps are. And you can even check your stats here. I'm not entirely sure why you want to do that. And of course you can save, load, and quit the stage. So we'll just pass the stage here. 9 inactive units. That's a lot of stuff. So the way attacks work in this game is that you have the choice of both avoiding or countering. And avoiding will... Whoop. I can do defense support, can I? Who do I want to do my defense support, though? I don't want the Gundam to do it. I want to keep the Gundam as in good shape as possible. So, might as well just use the beam rifle to attack here. And will it... Oh, okay, we can do counter support. So, sure, I'll get the white base to follow on. And we have these things called battle animations. Now, not entirely sure what they're saying in the background. But anyway, this is what the battle animations look like. This is probably where the majority of the game's size comes from. So you've got these lovingly rendered 3D scenes of all the different kinds of Gundams, and that's why they call it the SD Gundams, because the SD Gundams are all super deformed, cute as hell versions of the same units. So, yeah. They're all tiny and absolutely adorable, and they play it perfectly straight, which is even better. So we've done a bit of counter support there, so that Zaku is dead. It is dead in the bloody water. It is exploding right now. That's a nice compromise. Take 2,000 damage in a hit to take that guy out. Can I do the same? Do I have the same amount of luck with... Can I have the same luck? Let's see. And we'll skip the battle animation again this time. There is group attacks that you can do. But you need... It not only needs to be your turn, but you also need to be... brain work with me here. It needs to be your turn, and you need to have a bunch of enemies... a bunch of your friends close to your ship, and you also need to have a bunch of enemies close to your ship. So, we're taking care of that. As you can see, the AI doesn't send all its units at you at once, which is nice, because if it did, the game would be a bloody train wreck. Which, it's nice that they don't do that, because since they don't, you don't have to worry about getting absolutely slaughtered just really early on. So, we'll have one more counter support just to be safe. That'll be the Tornado Gundam there, but they both take a lot of energy. If you run out of energy, you can't do any more attacks, which kind of sucks. Alright, so that's one. That's two. It's dead. And that's overkill. Yeah, bang. My unit just gained Vigor. It also leveled up. When you level up, you can assign points to determine what it gets in terms of an extra stat. And my unit gained Vigor. Vigor is interesting, because what Vigor does is it means that the more Vigor you have, basically, the more likely you are to do a critical attack with pretty much anything, which is nice, because if you can do a ton of attacks, you can get an absolute ton of damage in really fast, especially if you've got a really good unit on the sending end, like, say, Amuro's Gundam. Seriously, you can do an absolute ton of extra damage if you put your mind to it. Let me show off a group attack if I can. Okay, so group attack. Oh, I can only do it with one guy. Screw it. I'll save it for later. So, do I have any extra units to deploy? I do! I have balls and a GM! Okay, that might actually be useful. I like that. So, let's just get this guy a little bit closer. I can attack these two if I wanted to, but my accuracy at the moment doesn't look great. Actually, better idea. I'll deploy everybody out first, and then I'll demonstrate a group attack, because, like, why not? So what do the GMs have? A beam spray gun, which I might as well use. 3,100 damage, not bad, but I took 3,400 damage in the process, and... Okay, yeah, these guys definitely are grunties, so I do want to be careful. I just realized I have no freaking idea if a ball is even remotely good or not. What can a ball do in this game? Decent attack power and a really long-range cannon. Okay. So if I just put him out there, yeah, he can attack both of these guys. And it takes 0 energy? Seriously? Obviously, they can't... Oh, well, it takes a little bit of energy, but... Yeah, problem being with this game is that accuracies are ridiculously underrepresentative. Like, seriously, if your chance to hit is like 50, don't bother attacking, you'll miss. Like, guaranteed. Alright, so here's a group attack for you. We can turn on the animation for this, and we're going to, so here we go. If you've got a set of enemies nearby, a set of friends nearby the ship that they were deployed from, you can do a group attack, which involves everybody attempting to beat the ship out of these guys at once. Unfortunately, I don't think it... Well, actually, it does... It lets you lock on to more than one enemy at once. The problem is you can't do much damage to any of the enemies, but if you want to finish off like 3 or 4 units at once that are relatively low on health, this will work wonders for you. Alright, so, okay, we hit both of them. We took out half their HP per piece, which is nice. And he gets a counterattack in with his bazooka, and he missed completely. Fantastic. So, we've got 2 Zaku's pretty low on health, and this fight is going to take an age. So, settle in. Hope you like long fights. Because chances are this isn't even the only fight of the stage. So, let's sort out everybody else then, because there's really no point in letting him just sit. So, I could get in close. No, I can't really get close enough for that. So let's get a beam spray gun going here. I hit, and I managed to dodge. Alright. We'll get this gun cannon to finish off this guy here. So, skip the battle animation. You can skip what button turns on the battle animation. So if you... Switch, I mean. So you can swap what button does what. So if you want to just hit circle and have the battle animation play every time, you can. But if you just want to have it so that you can just see like the new ones that you haven't seen yet, for example, you can do that too. That works. It's nice. Fuck this Zaku in particular. Yep, can't hit shit. Just what I thought. It's a ball. I really shouldn't be expecting much else, but... yeah. Let's get a group attack in. You can also... I probably should see if I have any skills to use, but that's on the other battleship, so... yeah, okay. Get the group attack in just for a... just so I can actually get some damage on those guys this turn. Okay, so they missed the ship. Alright, so... let's move my guys forward. I won't bother attacking them right now. I'll move everyone forward, including the core booster. Core booster's got to get in there with Sailor in it. Can I actually... yes, I can. Alright. Let's do another group attack. And I'll let you see the animation for this one too, because it's the white base and it's got everybody. So there's going to be some... really, there's going to be a lot of animations displayed on screen with the voice acting, so... you tell him, Bright. That is adorable. Like, I have that SD, the Gundam SD, with the beam rifle and the shield, and it's adorable. Absolutely adorable. Core Fighter and the gun cannon show up. So how we do on damage? We hit them both and just totaled them. Fantastic. So the way the AI works in this game is once a single wave of enemies have gone down, it'll actually send the next set of waves in. So keeping a decent like formation going here is actually to my advantage. Okay, everybody's moved here, so let's swap back to the other map. So let's get this battleship in closer. And do I have any skills here that might be useful? So let's see, return, accuracy, evasion, get some HP back, and get an XP boost. Not really useful since I'm not actually fighting anything too dangerous at the moment. So let's get in there. Attack, and we'll use a hyper hammer, because why not? And this is Char's... this is Char's Gundam. Like, it feels so weird to say that. I got Char, like, really early on. Like, after the first mission, I was able to recruit him because I did one of the objectives without even realizing I did it. And that was great, because that meant I got to, you know, get Char in. So, yeah. Whenever you destroy a unit, you might have seen me do this earlier. I can't remember if I actually did this earlier or not, because my memory is just that bad. But the way this works is that the chance step will let you take another turn after you've killed off an enemy. Like, literally last hit it. So, alright. So what happens is, okay, now we've taken him down a peg. I should probably get someone else in there and try and get some attacks in, but I don't really want to risk doing a ton of damage. So I'll just send all these guys in and let them do some damage so I can get the Zaku's in for the final hits. Can I attack him from here? I can. 3900 versus 3500. This is going to kill him. Yep. That was a bit dumb. Oh well. Might as well get an attack in on that Gelgoog just while it's standing there. Can't even evade it. Can't evade it, can't attack back. That poor bastard. See, as I was saying, you get to move again when you successfully take out an enemy. And you can get an extra turn so that you have a maximum of 3 turns in a row. That's basically how that works. Let's see if I can hit him. 58% chance. Yep, got him. Those other Gelgoos are going to get mad now, but, well, we took him out, so I might as well go and give this another shot. But I am using a ton of my energy, though, so I don't want to get too deep into the fray at this point. Right. Can I actually get these Zaku 2s in to 3,500 power versus 2,300? 2,700 power with 88% chance to hit. Much better. Dead. Okay, now he gets to move again, so I can move him up close and see how much he'll do here. So 2,800 with the Heat Hawk versus a 1,500 one with 93% chance to hit. Thank God. If I would have missed that, I would have flipped. Alright, so we leveled up, so I get to develop him into just a regular Zaku 2, I guess. I really should have taken this battleship along to a later level, earlier level, I should say, to level them up and trim them up a bit, because as you can see, developing units in this game will take a very long time, especially if you're using a very low level set of suits. So, and considering how much money you make, which means you can't really develop that much without doing a lot of grinding, yeah, developing your army in this game will take a very significant amount of time. So, how many inactive units do I have? 5. I can't sortie him out, and there's nobody else in this one, is there? Yeah, they count the SFSs as active units, which is annoying. I'm not entirely sure why they do that. I'll move the Zaku 1s closer so that they might even be useful as ranged. I just don't want them all going for the Zakus and then just taking them out when they've got 5 more powerful units going on here. The AI does do that thing where if there's a weak unit on the field, they'll all try to swarm him, which is, you know, what you would expect them to do. But at the same time, it is a dick when that happens. I can't evade this, but I can counter it, and it might kill him. Yep, there we go. He's dead. So the way this system works is that you saw that little get bar to slightly fill up underneath the GM. The way this works is that when you've got guest units, which are ones that you don't bring in, they will... Might as well. When you have a guest unit, like the GMs, for example, the ones here that I've got, that I didn't bring along as part of the mission, when they kill an enemy, their get bar will fill up, and when that fills up, you get to manufacture them. That's how they work. Okay, so the Rick Doms aren't going in just yet. Well, those two are, but the rest of them aren't, so that's okay. Gives me time to heal up that Gelgoog. Not that Gelgoog, the GM. Why am I healing my Gelgoogs? Who's attacking me right now? Zaku 2. I'd rather just evade. Yeah, there we go. Not waste the energy. And I don't think that 58%. You can go into defense, which means you take less damage and don't lose vigor, so you can keep doing critical hits. But considering that you might be getting attacked by like 3 or 4 units, it's not usually the best thing to do. Oh fuck it, I'll just counter him. Twin beam rifle. Yes! Half his health gone in one shot. Okay. So, what are we on right now? We're on my war ground. So let's swap back to the story war ground. This guy's not in very good shape, so let's get him back on the ship. When they're on the ship, the next turn they'll be able to redeploy, and they'll have all the health and the energy that they lost back, which is good. was about to say, can I group attack anything from this distance? I don't... Yeah, I can't. Okay. You just stay there, and I'll move the balls up just as a secondary guard. And the GM can move up as well. Yeah, this GM is in terrible shape. You can return to the ship. Imagine how long this would take if you didn't speed up the animations. And if you're wondering if facing affects anything in this game, it doesn't. It's just for graphical flair. Just FYI. Alright, let's move everybody up. I don't want to send them too far out, because if Amuro dies, that's it. We're done. Also, if, you know, if the ships die, that's it, we're done. But, you know, that much is obvious. Can I group attack anything from this distance? Just barely. Just barely. Alright. Can I attack anything from this distance? I can attack all of them, but it's 61% chance to hit just by default, so I can't imagine that I have a very good shot at it. Yeah, 49. Remember what I said? If it's below 50, you might as well not attack. Alright. You just sit there. Is that everybody here? Yep. I think so. Back to the other map. What can we do here? Alright, my full armor Gundam isn't in the best spot right now, so maybe I'll be able to get off a killing shot. 82%. 4,800. I'll take the shot. 51. Okay, so he gets a bonus turn, but I'm going to save the bonus turn because I have a plan. I will move the Phoenix Gundam up, and we will do some damage. Like, can I get further away? Let's see. 4 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And how much range do I have? I have 6. So if I stop here... Nope. Alright, now if I stop here, then, I should be able to... Yep, I can hit the Gelgoog. I want to take out the Gelgoogs as fast as possible, because they look bloody dangerous. Alright, 5,700 health. And... now... move this Gundam up. Get an attack in. I'll use my beam rifle just so I can save some energy. The first time you come across the red DOMs, they're really good, but the second time you come across them, they actually take a lot to actually even hit you with, which is nice because it reminds me a lot of how in Mobile Suit Gundam, how they had to replace all the pilots with rookies, because that's all they had. So yeah, I think it's a story thing to that. I'll show this animation just because there's a lot of units in this one, so I'll just let you have a look. I don't know whether Iraq is small or large. Like, I know that's a weird question to ask, but it looks really subdued, but really big at the same time. It's weird. So yeah, I made it like first priority to get Gundams going as fast as humanly possible, because your initial units, when they start dying off, you need to replace them real quick, and replacing them with Gundams is a great idea. Alright, I got 3,000-ish damage going with all of these guys, so that's nice. They're gonna hit the carry base? Yep, and did a fairly decent amount of damage too, that's not great. It's alright though, we got a decent group attack in. And it does actually show you all the damage that's been done afterwards, which is a little weird, but there you go. And now the full armor Gundam is capable of moving far enough to get back into the ship, so that's a good start. Let's get some more attacks in. 92% chance to hit. Dead. No, 6% chance to hit. Dead. Hoorah. What else can I attack with? I can attack with the Mega Beam Cannon. Actually, no, hang on. I can get just in range of this ship. Nice. I'll do that. I will hit you. 100% chance to hit. And this will do decent damage. 9,000. For a warship, that's pretty good. How much else does he have? 35,000. Alright. That's not bad. Considering that we usually don't well, I usually don't focus on the warship, but I decided to take the shot there because I'm a fucking idiot. I'm probably gonna get killed because of that, but not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, 80% chance to hit. I'll take it. Alright. Get the Marasai moving up. Get the Zaku 2s in there. Oh, Zaku 1s, sorry. This music's great. Yeah, pretty good music. It's also got a bunch of music from the original series as well, and, you know, all the other series that come along with it. Alright, what are we doing next? Okay, we're swapping back to the story one, so I can try and counter him, or I can try and evade him. I can hit him. Okay, I have a decent chance to hit, but if I do counter support with the airship, this may also work in my favor. Let's do that. Okay, we've got a hit in. That's a good start, I guess. Let's counter with the anti-air gun again, and we'll get the ship to help again. And we'll actually get the Gundam to step in for this one, because this means that he might actually not hurt. So, okay. Yep, he's dead. That's a good start. What else? Okay, they've moved in, so beam rifle, 100% chance. Hyper bazooka, 92% chance, and it'll do more damage, and I can bring along the gun cannon to counter with the beam rifle. Can I bring along someone else to counter? I can bring along the ship, but the ship's running low on energy. Thankfully, the ship recovers energy per turn. The ship recovers energy per turn, so if I just leave him for a bit, he'll get some energy back, which will be nice. So, you know, counter with the hyper bazooka again, and I'll get... No, I can't counter with anything else, unfortunately. So we'll just hit him with the hyper bazooka. And we have a bunch of really low HP units coming on here. And I'll get him to hit this guy with the beam cannon. He's dead. I can actually get the GMs to come in here and clean up this mess, and they'll, I might actually stand a chance of getting them. Okay, Rick Dom's attacking the core booster, and I can't hit him with anything, but thankfully I can evade. Yep. Another gun cannon getting attacked. No energy. Just evade it. Oh, wait. I can get defense support, so I'll get Amuro in here just to be safe. Keep the battle from happening. 3,100 damage, not great. That's a fourth of my health on the main Gundam there. Can I counter this one? Yeah, I can hit it with the Mega Particle Cannon. Did some damage. That's nice. Okay, now it's our fight. So, a Zaku 1 versus a Zaku 2. I wonder how this is going to go. I can counter him. Yeah, I can counter him. That's a ton of damage. What one am I countering? Is it that one down there? Yeah. And if I hit it with anything, it's going to die, so I might as well. Very good. Leveling up. We'll counter him with the Hyper Bazooka. Yeah, I've got the energy. I can do it. Took some damage, though. Jesus. And yeah, we'll counter again. I don't have anything I can counter with, so I guess I just have to hope to evade this. Nope. Oh, they're not in good shape. Fuck it. Defend. Take less damage. That's alright. If I can get the ship to move up, I'll be able to, if I can get the ship that they're on to move up, I should be able to get him in and get him repaired before his mobile suit dies. Except that we're being attacked directly by a fucking bombardment. Even if I defend, that's probably not going to be enough. Shit! Well, I guess I've lost that unit. That's not great. Might as well just fire back with the beam rifle. And I'm about to lose this Gundam too. But thankfully all the other turns have happened now, so... Except for that one. God, where are all these freaking ones coming from? Jesus! I can definitely counter this one at least. Lots of heavily damaged units around here. Well, I guess, yeah, these guys must be coming from the freaking ship. That's not great. We'll swap back to the main story one here. Try and get this done. Okay, so move the balls up. Nope, I moved him just one too far forward. So, yep, now I can try and hit him with this attack, and hopefully he won't be able to fire back. So, nope, didn't really stand a chance to hit. Unfortunate. Move the ship up. Yep, I'll move him up here just to be... Nope, don't move him up just yet. What I want to do is I want to get the... Don't want to turn him around. I want to get the... There we are. I want to get the GM out. So, let's get the GM out. Alright, screw it. I'll attack this one with the beam gun. Managed to hit, but I took a hit in the process, and now I'm in bad shape again. That's not a good start. Move the ball up again. Attack. Preferably attack one I'm not going to kill in one shot. That'd be nice. There we go. Move this guy up. Group attack. Now let's lock on to the 3 DOMs I'll be causing me the most trouble in the next couple of turns. Skip the battle animation, you've already seen it. Two DOMs down, that's a good start. Alright, let's take out some more DOMs then, shall we? Get this gun cannon back out on the field. Get this Gundam to move in, and I think I will buy myself a couple of extra turns. Yep, he's dead. And Amuro gets another turn now. I can always come back later with some... Well, technically I wouldn't be able to on this stage anyway, because I'd have to come back with, I wouldn't be able to come back with more powerful units if I was looking to, like, get the GMs or stuff like that, but GMs probably show up in a later stage that I can just fuck around with, so that'll probably be fine. Oh, he's out of energy. Alright, back to the ship he goes then. Well, I can hit him, and I can do the damage, but he tried to evade it, which is annoying as shit. Okay. Yeah, move the GM up, but he can't hit anything from this distance, so there's no point. Yeah, move the ship up. Can I actually hit the attack from here? I can, but it's probably not gonna... Yeah, probably not a good idea to try the attack here. I can try it with the balls, though, but chances are they're not going to hit him. Yep. Bloody balls. I'm gonna say, yeah, this guy, he's not really doing very well, is he? Right, let's get him back in the ship. Get his energy recharged. And that's pretty much all I can do at the moment. I hope there's not more DOMs in there, because if there is, I'm kind of screwed. Because look at all of them. That's gonna suck to deal with. Alright. Same tactic here. Just hammer away at the bastards. This is Char's Gundam. This is, Char is just godlike. Okay, he's got a lot of vigor right now, so I should be able to get him to his maximum chain state shortly, which will be nice, but the problem is that I won't really be able to take advantage of it, because he won't have much energy left. Although there is something I can do that might help with that, but, well, we'll just have to wait and see if that'll actually work or not, won't we? Alright, his Gundam leveled up. That's still weird to say. Well, I guess I gotta get the Zagus in here if I can, don't I? I can actually hit that guy. Let's hit him. Wow, it actually leveled up. So now I can develop him into a slightly more useful Zaku too. And I can try and kill something else. The question is, can I actually kill this guy? I was about to say, can I actually... Yeah, I can attack some of them from here, but not all of them. No, it's not worth the risk in getting him killed. I'll figure that out later. Oh, actually, Zaku Bazooka. Let's... Damn it! Well, at least he evaded it. Might as well Zaku machine gun this guy. Wait, I can get support, can I? From another Zaku with a machine gun. Fair bit of damage forward and back. He's almost dead. And I can use this Zaku again. So let's use him again to take this guy out. You can actually do, like, organization and stuff mid-stage as well, which is nice. Let's move him up. I was about to say, yeah, I'm not in range of anything that I can group attack, so that's unfortunate. I should probably move this ship up as well. Can I group attack anything here? Oh, yes. This is a good plan. Let's try and take out as many of these sons of bitches as I possibly can. $4,000 damage apiece. That's pretty good, but took a bit of damage in the process. Not so good. Might as well. Ooh. Okay, that Zaku's not in good shape. I'm gonna have to get him the hell out of there. Do I have anything else available at the moment? 5. Alright, I've definitely got something that I can deploy. Yep, there we go. Full armor Gundam's back out. So let's get him back out onto the field, or should I say her? And... what's the plan here? Well, I can do a really powerful attack, but it costs a ton of energy that I really don't want to waste at the moment, so... let's do this. Nice. Somebody's probably going to tell me I'm playing this game entirely wrong, and they're probably right. 5,400. If I... Damn, if I was closer, I could take him out in one shot. But I just I don't want to risk it. I want at least one of these Rig Doms to be dead this turn so I don't have to deal with them. And I got a critical hit, so it's not like it mattered anyway. And I'm supercharged, which means I do critical hits pretty much all the time. So, let's do just that. There we go. Now all those Zakus aren't exactly a problem, are they? Doms, I mean. Well, there were some Zakus in there, but... yeah, we're doing much better this turn. Alright. Do I have 4? Check the other ships. Yeah, I could have sworn I was missing something. I guess I'm not. Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything. Probably should deploy those other... those SLSs, whatever the hell they're called, as a distraction, but let's not. Let's see what he can do. Hopefully there's no more DOMs inside that warship, because if there are, I'm going to be really mad. Okay, beam rifle. Evade. Dead. Good night. I can try and counter it, but that's a giant bazooka. I'm not a fan of that, so let's try and evade. Very good. And that's another giant bazooka. Still not a fan of it. I only took 1 hit, but that's a quarter of my health right there. That's not good. I was about to say I can counter it. But, yeah, I really don't like those odds. I like that odd a little better. Yeah, that's good for me. No energy wasted, and... oh, Jesus, really? Okay, apparently I'm close enough that they can do their full-on attack if they want. And they're going to be bringing out Gelgoogs. Not the best thing in the world. Well, I guess they had to have some extra DOMs and stuff in there, didn't they? I'm going to have to start countering these ones if they decide to try and attack, because my ships are just going to keep taking damage and not be able to hit anything, which is not great. Okay, evade. Well, 53 versus 66, but I can get some damage in if I feel like it. Okay. I'll get some damage in if I can. Good start, I guess. Going to attack, but the problem is I don't have anything to counter with, so I'll just evade it. I can actually counter with my beam saber. That's a critical hit, 6,000 damage, and he's hurt. Good start. Might as well try and hit him with a bazooka. That's a lot of damage. That's my chair. Sorry about that. Yeah, nothing I can really do here. Just evade it. Evade again. I have an ability for this, which is actually kind of nice. So I'll be able to give him some of his energy back and then get him in there and just deal some massive damage to that fucking ship. The problem is I need to actually get into that ship first. 4,300. Yeah, that's well worth the damage. Yep, that guy's half dead. Might as well stay here for now because I can think of things that I need to get done here first. So first thing, move this ship up, and I can actually do a group attack. That's a good idea, actually. Alright, okay, lock onto him, take out some of his health. Same with him, and him too. And open fire. Okay. Now, the Zakus need to get back into that ship right now, because if they don't, they're going to get destroyed in one turn. Can I... okay, skills. The specified unit takes 50% less damage. Char. for 1 turn. This will help. Skills. The unit's final accuracy becomes 100% for 1 time only. Char. Skills. The specified ally recovers 50% of their energy. Char. Now he's a killing machine, and I can move my ship closer and get a group attack in as well. 3 locks, so let's get as much damage in as possible on the ones with the highest amounts of health. Okay, that ship's not in very good shape, but we can live with it for the time being. Alright, now. Move the Zaku in. 85% chance to hit, and this will kill it. So, that's good for me. Because now that Zaku probably gets a level up. He does not, unfortunately, but I can move him pretty close and do some more damage. Critical hit, he's dead. Yay! Level up! Which means I might actually be able to develop him into something good if he survives this battle. And the character gets a level up as well. And she gets the luck ability. That's interesting. I don't know what that does. And I will move him back up here. 80% chance to kill this one and get the XP from it. Done. Alright. Now, is there anyone left in here that's not the tank? Nope. Okay. Who's in here? This Gundam. Alright. Move him out here. Hyper Hammer. Unit down. He gets to level up again. I really should develop this unit. Gets to move again. Hyper Hammer this son of a bitch. That was like a 90-something% chance to hit and it still missed. Fuck me. Alright, we gotta try and take out this ship. So, the way ships work in this game is that they've all got a pinpoint thing that you can hit. If you hit on that pinpoint, it deals massive amounts of damage. So I just did 13,000 damage to that warship. That is well worth the time and effort. Unfortunately, yeah, this guy's too low on energy to do anything, so I'll just send him back to his ship. The full armor Gundam is still pretty well decked out though, so let's deal some damage. Super critical, 16,000 damage. Like, seriously, this ship will die in, like, 1 turn if I wanted to. Like, I could just will it into death if I wanted to. And that's great, because that means I actually stand a chance of getting this done if I can get the other ship ready to be destroyed in a single turn as well. So, what do I have to work with here? That one's returned to the ship, and he's still in the sortie, so... I appear to be out of usable units for the time being, unfortunate. Back to the other one. Alright, get all the units that are about to die back into their ships. This is going to be a really tough one to deal with. All these bloody DOMs everywhere. And I don't have any special skills to use, so I have to do it entirely via strategy. Thankfully, I don't need strategy when I've got fucking Gundam. And I'll get some support as well, because why not? Okay, so I get to move again. But, that doesn't mean I will. Just yet. I'll move you up here and finalize where you've moved to. So I can move Amuro up here. hit it with the hyper hammer and not actually get the assist. Because god damn it, I guess it only works if you're if the other guy hasn't moved yet. That's unfortunate. How's the energy doing on that ship? 40, right. Okay, this ship probably should move closer to the white base at this point. And I can do group attacks, which might actually be useful at this point. So, let's just drain some energy away from these two. Okay. Balls. Probably not going to be able to hit shit at this distance, but it's worth a try anyway. Nope. Didn't think they would. I probably would have been better off just moving them as a freaking distraction force more than anything else. Didn't figure that would work. Alright, I got another group attack to use, so let's do that. Get this GM moved up here. Can I actually hit them from this distance without being targeted myself? No, screw it. He's got full health. He'll be fine. Okay. Move this GM, this ball up here. Hit what I can hit with the highest accuracy and the least health. These balls haven't been able to touch anything. I thought the balls were supposed to be godlike. Nope, don't move the ship. Don't move the ship. Move the ball first so I get more locks. Right. Attack. Please hit this time. God damn it, how do you flip a coin so many fucking times and still not get heads? Group attack. 3 locks. Take out the ones with the most health. Okay, now that that worked, can I do a group attack with... Yep, I can. So, as before, enemies with the most health. Destroy them. 4,200. And yes, that Gelgoog's dead. That's a good start. Alright. And he gets more vigor, so he can actually hit more critical hits. That's useful. Am I done here? 4 units not ready. Ah, yes. Kai's gun cannon. I was about to say, if you probably attack something I could hit, that'd be a good start. And that was enough to kill him. Awesome. And he gets more vigor, and he gets another shot. Which I am more than willing to take. I was about to say, yeah, let's do this with the shot that's more likely to hit. And that one's dead too. Alright. We got this in the bag, I reckon. I just need to get close enough to start dealing damage to that warship. Because I do want to try and demonstrate how a bonus objective works. This video is going to be long as fuck. Holy shit. Alright. One more attack. Might as well aim at the... I can aim at the ship! Why not? I've got the health. I'll live through it if I get hit. Maybe I won't. Holy hell. Oh, well, he did live through it. So, I guess next turn he's going to be the main target for all the DOMs that are out on the field. All 7 of them are, like... Is there 7? 9. Yep, 5, and then 4 up the top. That's 9. Jesus. Yep, screw it. Pass the turn. Be nice if they gave you a button to jump to whatever unit there was. Like, just, you know, the one that hasn't been used yet. Alright, so back here. Can't counter him because of the range, but I can avoid. Well, at least they're going after the... Never mind. Yeah, I'll try bombardment, because my evasion luck hasn't been very good in this. He's hurt. Good start. Alright, counter. And it's a fully healed Rick Dom, so Having some counter support help me out here would be a very good idea. And considering that gun cannon may not live to the next turn, it's worth at least a try. That's one. That's two. And he's dead. Okay. Amuro's vigor is super high, so he'll hit like a truck. Like, no matter what, which is nice. I might as well try and get a good counter going on in here. That's not very good for that core fighter, I tell ya. But thankfully the Dom that tried to kill us is dead, so that's a good start at least, but yep, we're on the alert, that's not good. Might as well try and counter this. Neither of these are a very good option. Of course I don't even hit. Yeah, I'm not going to stand a very good... I'll evade this one, but I'll get some defense support in. That's good. Well, I'll beam rifle him just because it has a 100% chance to hit. I'll kill him anyway. Slowly but surely wearing their defenses down, I'll tell you that much. No point. Evade it. Thank God. Yes! Hit him with the Hammer of Justice! That was a stupid amount of damage. And I don't have what I need to actually do any more attacks. Except for maybe a Hyper Hammer. Let's evade this. I don't want to lose my battleship, because if I lose my battleship, I lose the whole group. You know what, screw it, while I'm there. I don't really... Yeah, there's no point. I won't be attacking anything until I can get the other ship down, so... Alright, plan. Got to get the core fighter back into the ship. Got to get the gun cannon back into the ship. Now. Can't attack with them, but I can do a... No, I can't do a group attack because I don't have the energy available. I do have the ability to bombard, but I don't think it's going to hit anything, so... Better idea would just be to move them straight up and hope I can get some damage done on this fucking ship here. Can I do a pinpoint attack? I don't think I can. I'll get some support too from the other Murasai. With another missile barrage. Okay, 8,000 damage. That's not doing me very well. Alright. Move the Gundam in. All of these attacks have 100% chance to hit, and he can hit like a truck. Let's see if this helps. $13,000 damage. But he's almost dead. Oh, God. 4,000. But if I... Alright, fuck it. Group attack. Let's do a group attack with warships. I'll let you watch this one. You're probably bored to death of this video already. Go the balls, just sitting there. Alright. A good slap across the face will take out that low one now, so... I can get this done in one turn if Amuro survives the next few attacks. The problem is, will he be able to survive the next few attacks? And is there any way I can do that for myself? I was about to say, have I done this side yet? I won't need to. I just need to get that dropship destroyed. And I can actually do that. That GM's dead. Unfortunate, but a necessary sacrifice. Yep, hit the low recoil cannon right on the pinpoint. Alright. Wow. I actually killed something with a ball, and it was a freaking warship. God almighty. Wait, did that... Oh god, that Rick Dom surrendered. I can capture him. Ha! Fuck you. Fuck you so hard. You son of a bitch. I actually managed to capture a Rick Dom. That's amazing. I didn't even think that was going to happen. Alright, move the white base up. So that Amuro was really close. Like, it won't be close enough to, well, you know, get him in this turn, but at the same time, this should help. Oh, I get it. It's because that Dom that... Oh, right. I follow. So that Dom that I killed was a, Hang on. The Dom that surrendered came out of the ship. So that's why I got him. That makes sense. Alright. But it's like, can I even hit anything from this distance? Probably not. Nope. I don't even know why I bothered trying. I really don't. Do I have anybody I can sortie out here? Yes, gun cannon. Alright. You might actually be able to hit something for once. Take out this Rick Dom. And I have another shot, which I might as well take since he's got full energy and all that. He missed. Because of course he did. Man, that map looks a lot different. Just 4 Rick Doms flying around in this part of space. Okay, now, we have to take out this warship. Now, as soon as I take out this warship, the next part of the stage will start. So, we're still going to be here a while. Let's hyper hammer this son of a... No, it'll do the damage I need it to. Let's do it. Yes! Both ships taken down in the same turn. Now you'll get to see what it looks like when the new units come in. I don't even know what these new units are going to be. That's the thing. Like, in the last mission, they were Zaku 2 high mobility types, so God only knows. And of course, Char gets a level up. Because of course he does. He's Char. He's magnificent. Yep, you get to see yet another cutscene. Here comes the Zeong. I just hope I get to use all my units in the same area, because if I don't, I'm pretty much screwed, because I've got 2 battleships that are almost completely dead, I'm missing a GM, and things just aren't going well for my reinforcements. It doesn't have legs. I mean, to be fair, that's a pretty good reason not to be able to use a unit. It doesn't have legs. I'm guessing it's a 3rd map that I have to transfer to or something? Nope. It's to the north. And... oh dear. Okay. I need to zoom out. This is going to be a tough fight. That zoom out doesn't help much. But okay, I'm not... Well, I say I know what I'm dealing with, but knowing what you're dealing with and not being sure how you're going to deal with it is half the battle. That's a hell of a surprise, I gotta say. Alright. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to win this, so... And it's been an hour and a half already, so you get to see how this works, and you get warned that this happens. Like, seriously, what the fuck is this? A big row, yeah, this is... And the units that it's controlling is Zacrellos. Never even heard of these. So yeah, the commander for this one is him. And then, if you take him out, you get to capture the other two, but... Good lord. What's the win condition on this one? Destroy all enemy units, of course. Yeah, I'm done. I'm not going to win this. I'm going to save it so I can come back to it later, but... Yeah, that was a look at SD Gundam G Generation Genesis. I just managed to play it for an hour and a half without getting bored. If that doesn't tell you how much I like it, I don't know what will. It's a really good strategy game. It's got this big meta game of building up your own army in the background, and it's got lots of units, lots of potential strategies, and good lord, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. But there you go. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.